Whether you like it or not, Walmart frickin' sucks. Hello fellow YouTubers, I'm the Captain 91 once again here to address the virtual masses, and right now it's time to shed a little bit of light. Let me tell you something about Walmart. There's people all across the board. There's people that hate Walmart all the time. You hear it all the time. I've heard it all the time. You know, Walmart doesn't treat their employees right. Walmart pays horrible wages. Then you hear on the other side, it's like Walmart's good, it gives people jobs, you know, all that stuff, blah, 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 this. I worked in retail for a couple months. I worked at Kroger, okay? And eventually I got screwed over because of hour issues and all that. So I understood I didn't really get a good understanding how retail works. And then, you know, I tried to do a factory job. I couldn't do that because of my weight. I explained that in another video. So then we go along, fast forward to November 21st of 2011. I got hired on to Walmart. At this point, it really didn't bother me. I really needed a job. So, you know, I'm a cart pusher at Walmart, and it's fine. You know, yeah, I worked there, and you know, a lot of people not expecting a big guy like me to last there, because the job I picked was a physical job. Being a cart pusher at Walmart is more than just pushing carts. Push the carts. You're the outside janitor pretty much. You got to sweep up the vegetables in the front lot and all that. You have to get the electric rascals, electric carts, whatever you want to call them, for customers. And sometimes the customers don't always make that nice. God, it feels good because I wanted to make Walmart videos before. I couldn't while I was working there because I was afraid I'd get fired, but I'm not working there anymore. You have to go inside and help people carry out their shit. Furniture, TVs. Most of the time, people who are on the scooters who need help taking their stuff to the car. I was always told that Walmart management wasn't the best. As soon as I got a job at Walmart, a lot of my friends started getting jobs at Walmart, at a different Walmart. And I heard them talk all the time about how they were getting treated like shit by their managers. And I never really seen that. I really had no problem with anybody at Walmart. You know, I'm not a very guy that gets mad at people easily, so you know, it takes a lot to really get under my skin. I worked in the mornings, and this job in particular, I don't know how it runs in every Walmart, but my job in particular, the majority of us, I'd say probably about 60 to 70% of the cart pushers at my Walmart, covering all shifts, were still in high school, and so they were always in the evenings, and I was in the early mornings, and there was only 2 or 3 of us that worked in the mornings. Well, one of the guys, he transferred in the store, and then the other guy, he got hit by a car and got fired. I'm not going to give any names here, but he got hit by a car and got fired because he was a liability. Okay, so I could start to see that the things were starting to roll. Okay. It left me out there by myself. Now, I worked 6 or 7 hours a day because I worked part-time. And let me tell you something. I worked at my Walmart, and it's the one in Florence, Kentucky, is the largest one in the area. And it's always busy because we're in freaking Florence. So in the mornings and in the early afternoons, I'd be out there by myself. And I'm a big guy. I mean, I'm not very fast as it is. And I gotta do all these people's jobs. I gotta keep up with our lawn and garden because they run out of carts all the time, especially in the summer. People show up all the damn time. And I understand people want to show up, but come on, geez, me by myself? I mean, that's ugh. Okay, so I had to take care of all the carryouts, which are helping people bring out their shit, you know, clean outside like everything, blah, blah, blah. And this had been going on, off and on, most of this end of spring for the rest of my Walmart career. It got better, more people kind of got hired on, but eventually they would screw around where even the people that would come in who aren't in school, that were willing to work in the mornings, would eventually be put into second shift, so I would still be screwed over and put up in my first shift all by myself. I got called in rode up at Walmart once because I rode an electric, because our job, when we get the electric scooters from the customers, our job is to bring them in and plug them up. I got rode up for bringing an electric scooter into the store during like a 90-degree day. I was all the way in our lawn and garden department because that's where the customer had taken it. So I decided to ride it into the lawn and garden area to the other side of the store where it needed to go. Because I'd rather ride it in a store that's AC than ride it outside and burn to death. Because they told us that we could always come in every 15 or 20 minutes or so and cool down, or whenever we needed to. And I have high blood pressure. So they knew that I couldn't be, they knew that me being outside, it could be a danger if it was extremely hot. I needed to come in, take an occasional break, cool down. Got run up for that. So that's where it started to roll downhill a little bit. And I still have it. I got it from the job, a protrusion between my T11 and T12 disc in my back. So when that all happened, because of the stress of work, my doctor told me, they said that Walmart decided that they were going to accommodate me by making me a door greeter. The most boring fucking job in the world. All you do is just stand there, wave, and have people give smirky comments at you. Not everybody did, but a lot of people did. So, I did that for about 2 weeks. And they did, and the funny thing is, I love how management, because they did this, and they didn't replace me at all. There was still nobody out there. They have to get cashiers and customer service managers out there all the time. And I would hear their shit. They would complain to me. I'm like, hey, you're the one that moved me in a freaking door grader. And they said, okay, well, we'll handle it, we'll get people. They hire all these freaking cashiers, and they don't even freaking fill up every freaking line. I usually see 4 or 5 cashiers when we have like 20. They put them out in like zoning, or they make them go out and stack shelves and stuff, when they could be sending them out there, or at least be hiring cart people. That's what they should have freaking done. I eventually was called back, and I guess they realized that they were low on people, and they said, would you be willing to go back out there? You don't have to, you can stay on door greeter. So I really wanted to stay on door greeter because I was in a lot of pain. But I sucked it up because I'm freaking loyal to my fellow guys out there. I felt bad that all the guys coming in on second shift were getting a ton of shit because we were getting backed up. So I thought it would be nice, and I'd go back out there thinking that if I did this, maybe they would listen to me more and give me more help and not be so bitchy with me. So I go out there. It seems like it's okay at first, but then they fall straight back into their old shit. All of that. Okay? And the people at Walmart are very nice. The co-workers. I was friends with a lot of the older people, and they could attest to the unfair way that I was treated, the unfair way that my position was handled, not given any help. The biggest thing was when I'd go on my lunch, because they give you an hour lunch, I'd go out there, and they wouldn't put anybody out there. They'd say they'd send somebody out there, and if they did, they'd only be out there for 10 or 15 minutes. And you can't go for any overtime because they tell you they cut it. They make you cut it. Yeah, that's the funny thing. I ranted, but I thought I'd throw that in there just because I'm ranting about Walmart. I got help. A buddy of mine named Chris, he showed up, and this guy was a machine. He could handle that lot great by himself. And I felt good though because now I had help. Every day wouldn't be so hard. And me and him, we became friends because out of adversity, we knew that we were being treated like shit. And this guy, and I'll admit, this guy could whip my ass in a contest for that job anyway. And it's funny because my family, when I would tell them about this guy and they'd come and see me work with him, they're like, watch, they just hired your replacement. I laughed about it at the time. So eventually they decided they were going to put Chris, which is his name, on second shift. And oh man, let me tell you, that was bullshit. Eventually you get told that we're going to have a as we're called stockroom, which is weird. We're cart people, they call it stockroom. We don't even freaking stock or anything. And this was on February 19th of this year, 2013. So I worked at Walmart for a full calendar year, which I was happy about. I proved a lot of people wrong. So we have a meeting, and they tell us they're going to get us help. Our work is appreciated. This whole mumbo jumbo, seeing corporate managers, we're going to tell you this so you can be happy, and then we're just going to keep going screwing you, because that's how they do it. They're trained to tell you what you want to hear. So I was thinking, okay, maybe we're going to get a better go. So the next day, I'm left by myself all day, my entire shift, which is rare, horrible occurrence. I didn't get covered at all in my lunch, and they had just implied a new cleaning regimen to where we'd always have to make sure that front vestibule is spotless all the damn time, every damn minute. So when I'm on my lunch and they tell me that I'm going to be covered, I come out, this lot is horrible. And our regional manager, who had been there for at least a month every day, comes out and he complains. So I have my two managers come up to me and tell me that I'm being rid up for that. They knew that this guy was here all the time and they didn't replace me. So the next day, Friday the 21st, I come in, I work, I go to my lunch, and as I come back from my lunch, I am being pulled off by my shift manager. And my shift manager takes me in his office and he says, Aaron, I got bad news for you. Wrong place, wrong time, we're going to have to let you go. And, it's just, I was pissed. I try to tell him, hey, I try to explain, hey, I work as hard as I possibly can for a big guy. You guys know my limitations. You know what I can do. I work. I was left by myself yesterday. I had no coverage on lunch. He agrees with me. He concurs that that's the truth. But this is how he says, he goes, Aaron, just, our hands are tied. Wrong place, wrong time. So I had to fucking turn in my badge, all that shit. I left. Everybody was pissed. A lot of people were pissed. I shouldn't say everybody. A lot of people were pissed. There was one old bastard in particular that was probably happy I was gone, but he can go suck a dick. So I left, and it's just BS. They told me to go ahead and fight for it, but I know they're just trying to get me out of their hairs. So I go to file for unemployment, and the last thing, and I figured I'm done with these people. I'm just going to file for unemployment. I went to a lawyer, had a consultation. He says I could get unemployment, no doubt, because of my situation. I get unemployment. After my first week of getting unemployment, Walmart appeals and tries to take my unemployment away from me over the phone hearing, and I beat them, and I get my checks back. And now I hopefully, thank the Lord, I hope I don't have anything to do with Walmart's people again. And I knock on wood to make sure of that. So the point of this story is, you want to work at Walmart, that's your business. You can do what you want. I'm just letting you know that when you work, and I don't think every Walmart's possibly the same, but realize this. If you get entangled with management, you're never going to win. If you're at the bottom of the Walmart ladder, which most people are when they start, you're never going to win when it comes to a pulling match with management. Just to let you know, there are better jobs out there. I know they're hard to get, but if you have to absolutely work at Walmart, do so. And if you want it, and I encourage you to go out and get a job. Just remember, it's not going to be a fun day.